Overlooking the La Jolla Vista view, after William Wegman by Rhiannon Scray. The church is so pretty. I wish I could go in, but they only let members enter. Do you believe in God? He lifts the corner of his lips, shakes his head. No, I don't believe in heaven or hell either. Me neither. I kind of like that there's nothing after death. This time he frowns. You're not upset by that? That there's nothing after this? What's the point then? In 100 years, no one will even remember us. It just makes me wonder why. I think it's comforting. He doesn't really understand what I mean. I can tell by the way he turns back toward the cliff. I don't know what to say, so I do too. The city looks different now. Or I guess I wouldn't know. I am too young. But I have chosen to put my trust in the hands of the artist who, right underneath, says there is too much here. And where are the trees going? And how can we possibly add more to this world? A couple days later, we lay side by side. I am a little distracted by the brush of his fingers over mine and the color of his eyes, the same color as the art I took him to see, with just a touch of green, as if the trees have come to life in his eyes. I have something weird to tell you, he says. His accent is thicker now. I listen carefully. He told me every time he imagined something, it would disappear. He noticed it when he was 7, when his cousins wanted to continue playing pirate ship with Legos from the day before, and it suddenly didn't exist anymore. Not that he couldn't remember it, he said. Memories were different. It was as if it wasn't real, which it wasn't. But when you're a kid, your imagination feels real. And for the moment, it is. It's more real than taxes and jobs and school. Your imagination is in your head, and that's where you are, and so it's real to you. But he told me this wasn't true for him, that it was real in the moment and gone the next day. So now I wonder, does this mean he won't remember us? I know it's different, actual events from imagined events. But what about feelings? Feelings aren't a real, tangible thing either. Feelings are in that in-between space, not quite physical, but not quite imagined. Is this all a dream for him? In 2 months, these moments will pass a threshold, one that moves me farther from him with each passing second until eventually it will be longer without me than with me. And it will always, always be less than everything else. Where do I go? He told me he didn't like forgetting what he imagined. So he did this thing, created an alternate world, he called it, where everything he did that wasn't real, stories, movies, books, imagined pirate ships, had a place. Everything he did, he had to think about how it related to the first story he created. As a kid, he read Harry Potter, in French, of course, and he liked it so much that the alternate world became Hogwarts. With pirates, I guess. Does he like me enough? I cannot imagine what it's like for what you imagine to not be real. I know. It didn't happen to you, but it happened in you, and who's to say that's not something? You, apparently. For you, it's not enough. And all these things are in one place for me. Feelings and dreams and imagination and memories and art and moments. Moments like standing on a cliff, overlooking the La Jolla Vista view, and walking into the eucalyptus trees while the heady scent of lemongrass keeps you tethered. Moments that are shared, watching the clouds snuggle up to the sun, the church standing tall, demanding attention, a million possibilities hiding in trees and fences and walkways, entire worlds depicted with just a few simple black lines. Everything in the city is there, almost everything. One tiny dot is missing, one barely visible in the skyline. This is our shared moment, looking out at art underneath more art. We are imagining the same moment in that tiny dot, where we first met, and for the first time I understood what it meant for the stars to align. Will this moment fade too? You said it's real. It happened, if you can put it in this alternate place. Moments aren't imagination, moments aren't imagination, moments aren't imagination. If you reimagine something, which side of the line does it fall? If you reimagined a moment, does it disappear too? If you reimagined us, would we disappear? Moments aren't imagination. But moments are made of feelings, and moments exist in dreams, and moments live in memories, and moments are art. Moments can be imagined. So now I wonder if the next time lemongrass floats through the air, he will think of me and remember how I smiled at all his mispronunciations, how he teased me for feeling nervous, and the way his eyes held mine. I wonder if he will reimagine our first kiss, just beyond that cliff, on an old stone bench in the midst of the eucalyptus grove. I wonder which I will be, a permanent resident of that alternate world, or just a faraway dream of something that didn't happen. Imagine, he says, imagine being 70 or 80 years old and suddenly waking up and not remembering your life. Good or bad, you just don't remember. That's what I think death is going to be like. I don't understand. He shrugs. It's the same as imagining. The next day, it isn't real. Life is like that. One day you wake up, or don't, I guess, and it isn't real anymore. It doesn't matter. Do you really think that? That life doesn't matter when we die? Of course. We're not there to make it matter anymore. I don't know what to say. So I lay there and imagine what it would be like to wake up and not remember standing on a cliff, looking down at line intersecting line until an image forms, one that includes our love story, in between soft strokes of a brush, hiding behind spring greenery, tucked safely into a building you almost can't see. Is he right? Does that moment die when we die? I want to believe that is the point of La Jolla Vista View. Maybe it's selfish to think that this piece is here to capture these moments, to capture us before he is gone. But maybe it's not just us. Maybe the artist shared a moment with someone too, someone who couldn't seem to grasp onto things the way others could. And maybe he couldn't find the line between real and imagination either. So he moved moment from feeling to dream to memory to art, so that it would never not be real. Not just a comment on urban sprawl, but a delicate piece of metal meant to rest at your fingertips, holding a string of moments, waiting for the touch of the next imaginist. When you first told me this, I was fascinated, enthralled. How strange for a mind not to hold on to imagination. Tell me more. And now all I can imagine is not being imagined. Please tell me, if our moments are imagined, are they not then real for you? Will you reimagine me? Will I have a place in you? Will you visit me there? When we are worlds apart, if we cannot be real, can we at least be imagined?